Hey guys, welcome to the May forecast. This is Dan with Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I am getting ready to start the water sign Tarotscopes for Cancer, oh my god, Scorpio and Pisces. Sorry, I'm totally like brain dead right now. I don't know what my problem is. Let me just share this out really quick to some groups and then we can get started. So this is going to be a broad spectrum, overview of what my water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, might be facing in the month of May of 2020. It's not necessarily going to be for all of you, but for some of you, you might experience some of this, all of this. You know, some of you might be calling me being like, bitch, why are you hiding in my closet? How'd you know all this about me? And some of you might be like, you're crazy. I don't understand a thing you said. So it doesn't necessarily matter if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. There's probably, you might be on a different trajectory or path or whatever, and that's completely fine. You might be working on something different. But if your planets are heavily placed in water signs, or if you have a sun, moon, or rising in any of these three water signs, you're going to want to watch this just to get an idea or an overview of what could be going on. Hey Julie Kildea, Gemini was done yesterday. So Gemini is actually already up. The air signs actually had really good May outcomes. So you can check that out on my business page or on my YouTube page. If you look at that Engelgeist Linktree link that I just posted in the group, that will take you to my YouTube page and you can find the air signs video there, and it starts with Gemini. Hey Davina Pierre Lewis, how are you? Hi Erica Nelson. Hi Julie. I said hello, Julia. Julie, I mean. But yeah, Gemini was done yesterday, so now I'm working on the water signs. And yes, Mary Clunan, Scorpio will be second. So first I'm going to do Cancer, then Scorpio, then Pisces. So let me get started. So this is for anybody with a Cancer sun, moon, or rising, or if you have heavily placed planets in the sign of Cancer, you might want to watch this. If you care about a Cancer, or there's a Cancer that's close to you that you want to sort of know what they might be experiencing in the month of May, this would be something you might want to cross-watch too. Or, you know, if you know you're like, say you have a Cancer moon, you might want to watch this just to kind of couple it with whatever your rising and your sun sign is, so that you can kind of get a better idea. Is it going to be a tricky month? Is it going to be an easy month? It looks to me, I can't remember, a few days ago I did my earth signs, and I can't remember all of the outcomes of those, but I do remember yesterday's air signs all seem to have very positive sort of turnouts at the end of May. So I'm interested to see what happens with the rest of the elements, because after water I will do the fire signs. And not today, I'll do probably fire signs tomorrow. So let me see what's going on with my Cancerians for the month of May 2020. Hey Terry, how are you? And please hit like on the video if you're watching from wherever you're watching. Please hit a like on the business page if you're watching from the business page, or go to my business page and hit a like and follow. I do free events from there all of the time. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. All of that stuff is on the Engelgeist link that's placed in the chat. And that will take you to all of my different social medias. So let's see what's up for Cancer. Alright, so this first card is the center of like where you guys are going to be at most of the month. For most of my Cancers, it kind of gives me just an idea of where you guys are vibrating at. It also gives me insight into not only what you're sort of, where you're sort of like centered at throughout the month. And it's not the totality of the month, just in and out of the month. You're going to be kind of vibrating at this place for the majority of the month. And it gives me insight into sort of what you could be creating for the future, right? So you have the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is always this sort of card of like too much variety, too much choice. Cancers might have a lot of, Cancers, I like that you guys kick off with a Cups card, right? That's your home element of water, so that's good. So you will be sort of in your emotions in the month of May. You might be feeling it a little bit. You might be feeling a little bit emotional, a little bit confused, a little bit. To me, the Seven of Cups is about sort of making a decision or being indecisive. Like there's almost too many options on board and not really being sure which one is the best one to pick. This may surround your emotions and your, or these choices might make you emotional. There might be a lot of different opportunities or things that you thought were going to happen and maybe aren't able to happen in the month of May, and that's got you a little bit emotional. But whatever it is, I don't feel like my Cancerians are going to feel lonely. And the reason why I say that is there's this couple on this couch, and it's sort of like, to me, this woman feels like the Cancerian, and she's sort of talking to her male counterpart here, maybe like going over her problems, discussing her issues, you know, maybe being a little bit upset about, gee, I really wish this, and this would have happened, but they're not, or I can't choose. It feels, I don't want to say stuck, but it feels like I think my Cancerians are going to convince themselves that they can't make a choice, or they're going to be afraid of making the wrong choice, so they're going to kind of stick themselves, if that makes sense, or they're going to be sort of fearful about that. Now, that may not be the whole month of May, but it's definitely going to be like a pervading theme for the month of May for you guys, okay? So just be prepared for that. It is your home element of water, so I think that that's a good sign. It just feels like there's too much on the table, right? It feels like you guys might be not overwhelmed, but like sort of like beleaguered with choice, or annoyed that you can't make the right choice because time or the situation won't allow for it, if that makes sense. So don't be surprised if you feel yourself going in and out of frustration or in and out of feeling emotional in May, because that's definitely the Seven of Cups. A choice will need to be made at some point. We'll look at the rest of the cards to see if the choice will actually take place in the month of May, but for right now, it seems like your focus is going to be on the indecision around that choice. This could be multiple choices too, also. Seven of Cups could also indicate, you know, there's 7 different cups up here with all sorts of things. Some things being very realistic and practical, some things being more imaginative and out of reach, so to speak. So there could be more than one choice on board too. Like I'm just using these as examples, like the choice of a relationship, or the choice of a new job, a new home, a new way of, you know, being in the world. All of those things could be at play for my Cancerians in the month of May. You know, like sort of redefining ourselves emotionally and how we feel about that emotionally, and picking and choosing from sort of the buffet that's out there what suits us best. And we might struggle with that a little bit, is my feeling. Now, and we might need some guidance, you know? That's where I feel like these two are talking on the couch. But that guidance, to me, I don't necessarily know that you're going to listen to that guidance, is the next thing that I hear. Is that you guys might use somebody as a sounding board to kind of throw your ideas around with, but you're going to make the decision yourself ultimately, which is a good thing. I feel like that's going to be the most important part about this decision, is that you as a Cancerian make it yourself and feel that you've made it yourself, okay? And that's going to be empowering for you in the end, is sort of where I feel this card is going to take you. Now, the next card is what I call the foundation. This card tells me a little bit about sort of what was going on previous to this month that sort of opened the door for everything to be the way that it is in the month of May. So this is the Hanged Man. So this kind of ties into these choices that we have in the Seven of Cups. The Hanged Man feels a little bit stuck. Now, I definitely attribute this to the pandemic. The Hanged Man is this idea. First off, he's like major arcana, so it's not like feeling a little bit stuck. This is like majorly stuck. So you guys might have felt the grind really hard from this pandemic, or emotionally it might have taken a bigger toll when everything kind of came to a pause back in the beginning of March. There might have been something that even stopped before the beginning of March, and then you got hit with the pandemic on top of it, okay? And so for me, when I look at this card says to me that you guys had something that you were kind of working towards, and everything kind of came grinding to a halt. You got a little bit caught up in it. in a big way, I would say, because this is the Hanged Man. But what you needed to realize at that time, or during this time, and maybe have already realized, is that it's sort of up to you to be able to sort of set yourself free. Now, you have set yourself free to a degree because you're at this place in May of this Seven of Cups, which to me feels like the Hangman turned, like unhung from the tree, but still with all of these choices of, oh shit, what do I do? Do you see what I'm saying? So it doesn't feel as dire as maybe it did like a month ago or 2 months ago, but you're still sort of stuck with these kind of um, options or decisions that you need to make, and you need to almost, I want to say you almost feel like you need to do that, you need to go through them and make them emotionally so that you know that they're correct. If that makes any sense at all. That's why this is a Cups card in your center. Is like you have to trust your emotional center. And I get a feeling Cancers get a bad rap. You guys get a bad rap for being moody. And I know that you guys do have your moods. Don't get me wrong. My dad was a Cancer. But you guys are also very emotionally like nurturing and wonderful signs, right? And you guys don't, although you may get moody at times or be hard to read or hard to please at times because your mood swings so much, it's not. It's like, to me, this is why that's the importance of making this decision on your own through your own emotions, because it's about ownership of who you are and how you feel. Does that make sense? So I feel like there's an empowerment happening here. This Hangman also feels like sort of like strung up a little bit, like maybe we've been feeling in the recent past, we've been made to feel bad for who we are, or been made to feel like we don't know how to make the right decision, or we're too moody, we're too this, we're too that, and we've been being told that leading up to this point, and we were believing that for a minute, and it got us kind of hung up in a big way in the recent past, maybe stopped us from making any solid sort of decisions or forward movement. And then the pandemic comes, right? And then we all have to kind of grind to a halt. But now that that's starting to lessen, we're at this Seven of Cups where we have to trust our own selves, our own emotions, our own moods, and move forward. We can use sounding boards, like I said, we can talk to our friends and all of that, but we're really going to need to trust ourselves on this one. And I think that my gut is telling me, or my feeling when I'm looking at these cards, is that it's really going to be empowering for my Cancers to do that, to really like make that choice whenever that happens for you throughout the month of May, or wherever that happens for you throughout the month of May. It's going to be empowering for you to do that. Now, the next card is your Spirit or Soul card. It tells me what your Spirit or Soul is wanting you to work on. And this is the Knave of Pentacles. So, the knaves always come with learning, right? They're always sort of this youthful, enthusiastic kind of energy. They sometimes bring good tidings or new information to them. They definitely bring learning. The knave to me also can represent sort of a younger earth sign person, but this being in this position would be more of a spiritual, what the Spirit or Soul wants. So this, I don't think this is necessarily like a young Taurus coming into your life. If it is, message me, girl, because I love me a Taurian. I think they're great. But if and it would be a nice match for you. Taurus and Cancer would be a nice match. Any earth sign would be a nice match. But what I'm saying is this earth energy, this learning of earth energy, this Knave of Pentacles up in your spirit space really says to me that this is about Cancers sort of redefining themselves and learning at a deeper spiritual level how to sort of bring in some of that productive earth energy, how to bring in some of that more grounded, centered energy. Cancers tend to be, and if you look at this Hangman, he's sort of hanging up in the air, she's sort of split with indecision. This Knave of Pentacles, although he has something to learn, or is, maybe not the most adept at physical manifestation, he still has more skill at it than what these two other cards have. So I feel like what this is saying to me is Spirit is saying, hey, or this Spirit card, this Soul card is saying, I want you to learn through making your own emotional decisions and choices and sticking to them, how to create in your own world, how to be your own sort of provider, how to be your own what's the word, that manifester in a way, right? And so there's an opportunity here through making clear decisions, even if they're mood based or emotionally based, that is going to train us and teach us about how we go about utilizing our feelings, our emotions, and all of that to unhook ourselves, move ourselves forward, and begin to create sort of the life that we want. Now, is that going to be easy? It being a knave card says to me there will be a learning curve. There will be, it's the King of Pentacles, right? Where we just snap our fingers and boom, everything falls into place. With knaves, it's a little bit more. There might be some mistakes made along the way. There might be some learning to be happened. We might make the wrong choice at one point. But there's really what I'm feeling, or the sense that I'm getting from these cards, is that there's not really a wrong choice to be had, because it's all going to be teaching you something that your spirit wants to learn, which is about how to sort of create at the material level in your world. Does that make sense? I hope that is making sense to you guys. And I think that these are good cards for my Cancers right now because of the period that we've just gone through, where everything's been put on pause. And everything's now the wheels are starting to spin again on the planet, the opportunities are starting to maybe slowly come back into the possibility, right? So we now have these opportunities of maybe making choices or decisions to sort of move ourselves forward in our material worlds. So that's what I feel like that knave is about. It's about, we might make a few mistakes, or it might be a little bit hard at the beginning of learning how to do this, but trust in that. Be enthusiastic, be open-minded, and trust your decisions, even if they don't turn out to be like perfect or exactly right. They're going to be learning, they're going to be teaching you things, you're going to be learning valuable manifestational techniques, I guess is the best way to put it. Now the next two cards are what I call the outside influence cards. These cards tell me a bit about sort of what is influencing you either positively or negatively in the month of May. And this can be either people or events, sometimes things more vague like belief systems or energies that could be having an effect on you in the month of May. So to keep an eye on this. So we have the Magician, but he came out reversed. Let me just look here. I just want to see these cards. He came out reversed. I'm just flipping through the deck here to see how many are reversed. I'm going to read his reversal, guys, because I think he was the only card in the deck that was reversed. I don't like putting the Magician upside down, but I am going to read him as an inversion. The Magician is a major arcana card, okay? The Magician is all about creativity, but like when it's sort of inverted, it can be about, I believe, this is my personal interpretation, I believe it can be about deception. I believe it can be about like excess, like in the sense of like maybe alcoholism, or it can be about what's the word that I want? Like charisma, but charisma used in a way that's like sort of abusive, right? Like it could be about narcissism. So to me, when I look at this card inverted like that, outside of you guys, I just want to say to my Cancerians, be careful. There may be somebody around you that might be very influential, that might be very powerful, that might be very creative, that might be very, have a wonderful smile, have a wonderful attractive quality about them, but they might not be in your best interest. Okay? And the reason why I say that is it's funny. With this Seven of Cups, you have all of these different options here, right? That you're trying to choose from, and you're trying to pick through your emotions. And I almost get the feeling like this Magician, the Magician has the four qualities of the four elements: the sword, the pentacle, the cup, and the wand, all around this infinity symbol down here, right? And to me, it feels like this Magician, the word that I'm hearing from this card is kind of like, oh, I've done this before, let me just show you how to do this. And I feel like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Not in your case, okay? For some of you guys, this could be a partner, this could be like a father, this could be some sort of authoritative figure that has sway or has like power with you, And I just want you to be mindful. I don't think that they're out to harm you. It's not like a negative thing. I don't want my Cancerians to be fearful at all. It's not a fearful thing. It's just more like he's not the best influence this month in May, okay? He may be accomplished. He maybe has accomplished a lot in his life. I get a feeling because he's inverted, he's going to be somebody that maybe has accomplished a lot, but also has lost a lot. He might be an alcoholic. I don't know why I'm feeling alcoholism off of this card, but I'm feeling like he might be a little bit of a messy Bessie in that way, so keep an eye out for him, even if you love him dearly. If he's like an ex or a dad or somebody that we, kind of give a space in our heart to, be mindful of him in the month of May. It's not like he's out to harm you. I don't feel like a direct danger per se. I just feel like misguided information is coming from him. And so we want to make sure not to take that, especially when we're making these decisions, because I feel like these decisions that we're making are important to us, or to my Cancerians, to get you guys unhung up and moving forward and beginning to create your own palpable sort of materialization of what it is that you want in your life, right? Now, the Magician is all about creation, right? Upright. He's all about creative energy, all the 4 elements working together. But this Magician, he may appear creative, but he's kind of a little bit of a fuck up. That's the best way I can describe it. So be careful how much of his input you take in, okay? I don't think that it's meant to necessarily harm you. I just think that it's sort of misguided. All right, the next card is... interesting. Wow. Okay, we have the Death card on the opposite side. Alright, I'm going to say this because I think this is for a very specific few Cancerians. I don't know if you guys are watching, but some of you need to get rid of your partner. I just feel like the combination of the cards here, and I'm going to explain to you why. I hate to say this, Cancerians, but I feel like this Hanged Man here as the foundation feels like you've been tied to something that you don't want to be a part of, and you haven't wanted to be a part of it for a while, and you've got all of these decisions in the midst of your May that you're trying to make a decision on, and you're moody and you're not sure which one to choose. You definitely want to start to create a new world, or your spirit wants you to get out there and start to create a new world. We have this Magician inverted, who I don't think he's out to harm you, but I feel like this could be your partner. To some degree, like it's just like you guys aren't relating anymore. The creation isn't there anymore. It's not like connecting anymore. And then on the opposite side is this death energy that's coming. And so these are outside influences, and the death to me is not about like somebody actually physically dying, but I feel like death is about the sort of idea of rebirth. Death is about the idea of removal of something so that something new can take its place. And like when I look at this, I'm just going to slide this over here for a second. When I look at this, there's all of these choices happening in the Cancerian's space, right? There's all of these cups that the Cancer is sort of picking through, trying to decide which one she wants or which one she thinks is best for her. And there might be a slight amount of confusion. And whoever she's talking to here, whether this is her partner or friend or whatever, they're mirroring back to her whatever her issues are. Okay? You felt stuck for a while, Cancer. This Hangman says to me, this is pre-pandemic stuck. And that your desire on a spirit level is to get out there and start to create again something new. That is this Knave of Pentacles out in the world. This could be a new job, this could be a new love relationship, this could be a new home. This is just new, and there's an enthusiasm for something new. But are you brave enough to take it? Are you brave enough to sort of acknowledge the fact that, see, the thing is this is what I want to say. This Magician card to me inverted says to me that at one point in time, if this is your partner, for some of you, that or if this is that job, right, that was so good, or hey, Casey, how are you, dear? Andrea, Pisces will be last, okay? Right now we're on Cancer, then we're going to go into Scorpio. No, Pisces has not happened yet. Pisces will happen last. Right now I'm working on Cancers, and then Scorpio's next, then Pisces. So this Magician inverted says to me that at one point in time this Magician was upright. Their things were good. things were on fire. Like the relationship was good and everything was creative and good. This magician is not on fire anymore. He's sort of either blocked, he's miserable, I don't know. I just sort of feel that. And then I feel the energy of death is like dancing in towards the Cancer's indecision. Something needs to happen here to untie my Cancerians from whatever it is that they have felt obligated to stay in for far too long. It's that simple. And this could be a job, this could be, say, God knows, this could be a friendship, this could be a romantic relationship, this could be a goddamn roommate situation. Whatever it is, Cancer, you know, each of my Cancers that will be watching this, you know that there's been something that's been bugging you even pre-pandemic, and then the pandemic came and you felt even more stuck. And so it's time to sort of let that go. And the other thing I want to say about this is that this Magician card to me feels like this magician needs to be released because he has magic that he needs to create or wants to create. He's still the magician, but for some reason, it's like his powers have fallen or gone lost or been dried up. As has my Cancers. Like, I feel like there's this indecision here in this Seven of Cups that says to me that you're not necessarily happy either. You're emotional, confused, and not sure which way to go. And death is like dancing outside the door. Like, death wants you to, like, and see, to me, death has a treasure for you. Do you see the little treasure box that's open? And I don't mean death like a traditional death. Nobody's dying, guys. Don't take that literally. What I'm saying is that this is like, May might be a big, significant ending for you in some realm. There's going to be just some decisions that are going to need to be made that are going to be emotional for my Cancers, but they're going to set you on a path of freeing yourself, enabling you to create new in the world, and enabling you to sort of let go of some things that no longer work for you and open yourselves up to some ideas of some new creation, some new treasure, some new excitement, okay? And this magician, I feel like, needs to be set free. He should be upright, and he's not. That's the best way that I can describe this. Okay. Now, this next card is the potential outcomes card for the month. And this shows me sort of where most of my Cancerians are going to end up going, barring that nothing major changes, right? So this is not set in stone, and we have free will and free choice. So if this card is a negative card, we can use it as a warning or to make like choices and changes to affect the outcome. But if this card is positive, we can take heart in the fact that we are on our way to this card naturally, and that things are going to transpire easily towards this outcome. I find it very interesting that you are surrounded by major arcana, Cancer, and then you have this Seven of Cups in the center. This is a big month for my Cancers. And our card is a beautiful card. I like this card. This is the Four of Wands. Now, it's not necessarily a water card, like a cups card, but it is a spiritual card. Wands in the four also signifies stability. It signifies spiritual stability. It signifies maybe heading in a direction that feeds your spirit and stabilizes you at a deeper level. It signifies like the idea of sort of coming together or bringing yourself together and making a decision that feels right internally and moving towards that right decision and building that stability around it by the month's end. I don't know what decision it is that you need to make, or it might be multiple decisions, but it's leading you towards this better creative world that you need to create or go out and create for yourself. And as you do that by month's end, you're going to feel like that is beginning to happen, and you will feel sort of less confused, more stable, more, I want to say like inspired, joyful, and it's going to be about laying new foundations for, say, June, July, August, for summer, right? So I don't know what those decisions are going to be for you guys, but I do see that the majority of my Cancers, whatever you guys do end up choosing and how you do end up going, you will hopefully be building something that is going to be inspiring to you, connected to your spirit and more stable than what it is that you have going on right now. Because right now, heading into May, is a lot of indecision, a lot of feeling hung up, a lot of feeling like things need to be let go of. Things need to change and new creation needs to come in. Okay? So that is my Cancer May Tarotscope. I hope that made sense, you guys. If you liked it or you want your own personal Tarotscope for May, you can certainly contact me. I do private Tarotscopes via Facebook Messenger, or I can do them via Zoom also. You can message me at my Facebook business page, and I can do a private reading for you there. They're payable via PayPal. I am going to move into Scorpio. Let me fix this Magician card. Make sure he's upright. That was weird. He was the only one that was not upright in the deck that I could tell. I mean, just at a quick glance. So I'm going to go into Scorpio now. Susan McMullen, you would want to listen to this. This would be your sign. Pisces has not happened yet. Francine, if you don't have a partner, I would say that those choices need to be around jobs, around friendships. I would say that those things need to be around relationships where you might feel neglected, invalidated. If there's anything, like I said, that Magician could be a father figure, it could be a boss. But when I saw that Death card and then I saw the Hanged Man coupled with the Magician upside down, it made me feel like a lot of my Cancers may be stuck in relationships. And those relationships could be familial, they could be platonic, they could be romantic. They don't have to be like love relationships, right? I was just saying that I utilized that as an example because when I saw those three major arcana at play around that indecision, it felt to me like my Cancers want to create a new life, especially with that Knave of Pentacles up in the spirit space. It says that the spirit wants something new, and we need to actually be brave enough to unhang ourselves and move ourselves forward. Let go of the things that are no longer working for us, which would be that Death card and that inverted Magician. Okay, so that could be, you utilize that in your life because it's a broad spectrum reading for multiple people that are watching. You would have to apply that to the area of your life where you feel it's not working. Okay, so like if you have a relationship, say with like a boss that's abusive, or you know, that doesn't treat you kindly, that makes you feel horrible, then that's going to be your inverted Magician. Or if you say you have an alcoholic father that never gives you credit, that is your inverted Magician. Oh, listen to that thunder. I have, by the way, you guys, just as fun, because I'm doing water signs, I have thunder and rain sounds playing through my phone on my speaker, because I thought, oh, we're doing water signs today. Let's do water sounds, although it's making me need to pee. So let's see what's going on for Scorpio for May of 2020. All my Scorpios, you sexy, crazy bastards. Sex, death, and regeneration. If you have Scorpio rising, sun, moon, or heavily placed planets in Scorpio, you poor dear, I feel sorry for you. You are wild, and everybody wants to sleep with you. We know it, Scorpio. You kinky little bastards. So let me see. I love it. Well, all the water signs are a little bit kinky, but let's see what's going on for Scorpio. You're welcome, Francine. Just apply those cards to wherever those situations seem similar, right? So like that's why I said it could even be like a roommate situation. Like if there's a situation where you're living with a roommate and you feel stuck there because of the pandemic and you can't move, the month of May might be the time where you start to really see that relationship for what it is and begin to change it and begin to start to move forward to making choices that allow you to free yourself. Hey, Daniela Phillips, I'm going to be doing Pisces in just a moment, right after Scorpio. I'm going into Scorpio right now, and then I will be doing Pisces. I'm a Pisces myself. And all my Pisces, please go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link in there. That gives you, that Engelgeist333 link gives you access to my YouTube channel. Please go over there and subscribe. I know you Pisces are over there watching YouTube, and I want to get subscribers over there. I would even do a private Pisces reading every week, just because I love my Pisces, but I don't have enough viewers yet to warrant doing that yet, and I'm not sure who's what, like, because most of my viewership is on Facebook because I put it in the group. So let's see what's going on with Scorpios. But I would love to know who's watching what. All right, so this is your center of the month, Scorpio. So this tells me where you guys are at most of the month for the month of May. All right, this is not the entire month of May, but the majority of the month of May. It gives me an idea of where you guys are vibrating at and what you could potentially be creating. Ooh, get it, bitch. So you guys are the Emperor. I love it. This is beautiful because this is Scorpios love to be on their soapbox. Y'all are authorities. And you know what you're talking about. And you have that sexy, strong energy about. I love how the thunderstorm's happening during Scorpio. Of course it would. You guys are sexy, strong-willed, strong-minded water signs. The Emperor is a benevolent, kind, loving sort of card. It's very much an empowered card. I feel like May is going to be a very nice month for Scorpio with this Emperor card in the center. To me, this feels like y'all will be feeling your oats, feeling your worth, understanding your sort of like your authority, your authenticity, appreciating that. I feel like your standards will be high. The Emperor always has sort of high standards and rules that he expects everyone around him to meet, right? But the Emperor is always sort of fair, right? Scorpios don't necessarily always play fair. I mean, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, you guys can be kind of all the water signs, because we're so moody and we're so emotional, we can all be really vindictive. But I sort of feel like Scorpio has the market cornered on, like, revenge planning. If that makes any sense. But to me, this Emperor feels like it's a very lovely month for you guys, where you guys are going to be feeling loving, feeling powerful, feeling empowered. Yes, you'll have expectations of how you want certain things to be, but I don't think that it will necessarily affect, it doesn't feel like to me that you're going to be upset or angry in any way, right? People might let you down a little bit here and there, but you're going to be benevolent, you're going to be loving towards them. You're going to be sort of probably giving a lot of advice in the month of May, would be a feeling that I would get from this Emperor card. He's one of the pillars, the 4 pillars of the Major Arcana. There's a lot of, what's the word I want to say? There's a lot of power to this card, right? There's a lot of strength, there's a lot of authenticity, authority, respect in this card, right? So expect those things. I feel like this is my Scorpios understanding that they deserve this respect and expecting it automatically. Will people let us down or maybe disrespect us? That's possible, but we're also not going to necessarily have much room for them, and we'll send them off with love. We're not going to let them get under our skin, is what this Emperor card says to me. Okay, now the next card is your foundation card. It tells me a bit about sort of where your foundation and what was going on prior that led up to this month, and what, why things are the way that they are. And so we have the 9 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands to me explains why we're at the Emperor, right? Wands are about the element of fire and spirit, and 9s are about sort of that personal. I'm going to turn down this. God, stormy Scorpio. Jesus, Kamate. 9s are about sort of that level of completion within ourselves, right? Like kind of finding that sort of joy within ourselves, that sort of understanding of ourselves. And this being the element of fire and spirit, it feels like maybe this pandemic, leave it to the Scorpios to thrive during a pandemic, right? Leave it to you guys to take the time, downtime, or the isolation time, the time to go inward, to kind of heal in some ways, my feeling. This to me is about sort of self-healing, understanding of oneself. If you look at this lady here, she's standing here in her regalia. She's even got her little spirit guide here behind her, carrying her train. Do you see that? And to me, it feels like sort of feeling ourselves and leading up into these months of feeling ourselves. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a way of believing in ourselves in a very good, positive way, in a deep spiritual way. Doing the work or doing the right thing, doing esteemable acts, doing things that bring about like you feeling good about yourself at a deeper level. Okay, so that's been like your recent past, ideally, or that's what I hope you have been doing. For you Scorpios that have been out there, fucking people over, this is not your card. But this is for my Scorpios that have been doing the right thing, taking care of themselves, taking care of like their needs, and really sort of, not being their own worst critic, really kind of giving themselves credit. And I feel like that's what's led them to being able to be in this position of the Emperor in the month of May. This is like a step up from this, or a few steps up from this Nine of Wands, right? Where it's like we almost expect respect at this point because we've learned how to give it to ourselves through this Nine of Wands. Maybe we've been through some hard situations in the recent past, and we've learned from those hard situations that we're no longer going to allow that kind of behavior to go on, or to be allow ourselves to be treated that way. You know what? I hope you understand what I mean. Like, and those situations could be, again, I'm reading for a broad spectrum group of people, so you're going to have to figure out what those situations are. Were they, work-related situations or relationship-related situations where you felt maybe you were mistreated? This Nine of Wands feels to me like you put a stop to that. You said, no, I don't deserve that anymore. Maybe you even walked away, And now going into May, you have a really firm understanding of what you deserve and how you deserve it. Okay, that's a major downpour of rain. Let's turn that down for a minute, because then I really will pee myself. So I feel like this is a very empowered space for you guys to be in the month of May, at least in the early part of May. We're going to see what the rest of the cards have to say, but I like these cards for you guys. It really feels like instead of my Scorpios being emotional or aggressive or upset or annoyed or anything like that, I don't feel any of that from these cards. I feel that you guys feel very secure, very stable. This is the fourth card of the Major Arcana. He's one of the pillars. He's an authority. He's loving. I just feel like this is a really good month for you guys. Let me see what your Spirit or Soul card is. Beautiful. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay? Now, Queen of Pentacles is an earth energy. Pentacles is usually material goods, right? Like money, material wealth, relationships, anything to do with the sort of material world. When I'm talking about the Queen, though, what I like about her being up in your spirit space is it says to me that this is about nurturing what you need, Scorpio. This is about this Emperor. Like, fuck me, if you guys didn't just take the last few months of self-care. Who are my Scorpios in the room? Have you guys been self-caring? Susan McMullen, have you been taking really good care of yourself? Can you just answer that to me? Because I feel like this says to me, these three cards speak to this idea that my Scorpios are working really hard at taking good care of themselves, and their spirit wants that to start to begin to manifest out through nurturing in the material world, nurturing the dreams and the beliefs and the desires of the things that we want in the material world. And this Emperor card to me feels like we know we deserve it this month. We know that it's coming. We know that we deserve it. We expect the high standard. We've done the work down here in the Nine of Wands. So we kind of know that. Yes, thank you, Susan. Thank you. Because I see this for my Scorpios. You guys have been taking really good care of yourselves, and I like that. I hope that this is to all of my Scorpio viewers, because the Scorpio's tendency, because you guys rule such intense stuff. Scorpios rule sex, death, regeneration. That's no joke, guys. That's like the circle of life, right? Sex, death, and regeneration. That Scorpios can get really dark. You guys can go to really dark places. To me, these three cards say to me that you guys have been going to really light, beautiful places, or places of taking care of yourself in ways that maybe you haven't always taken care of yourself. And it's starting to manifest physically. Your spirit wants you to start to see that through this Queen of Pentacles. This Queen of Pentacles to me is this energy where the material stuff is bound to come now, because we're holding ourselves with this respect of the Emperor, because we have this awareness, this spiritual awareness of the personal work that we've done in this Nine of Wands and the care that we've taken and of ourselves, right? And when we exude that out into the world, we sort of bring about this energy of the Queen of Pentacles, where she's going to nurture us and show us how to bring about what it is we want in our world. Now, I'm not going to say there is this mountain back here, right, behind the Queen, that says to me that there will be some work to be had to get the things that we want, okay? It's not always like just a cakewalk, but you have the strength and the stability of the Emperor as your center through the month of May, and you have the strength of this Nine of Wands below you as your foundation, propelling you forward. So you have the strength to handle whatever it is you need to face during the month of May. I'm just going to say that right out of the gate. Now, speaking of what do we need to face, the next two cards, hey Nancy Mowbray, the next two cards are the outside influences. These cards tell me a little bit about what is affecting you externally. This could be a person, an event. Sometimes it can be an energy or belief system that doesn't belong to us, but it's affecting us and we need to know about it, whether it's positive or negative. So let's see what's going on for my Scorpios. So we have the King of Wands here. Interesting, a little bit of competitive energy. Right out of the gate, I feel competition. Like, I don't even have to look at him. He's a little bit upset about your Emperor status. So, some of you, I'm going to say this. Some of you, okay, this could be a boyfriend, this could be a brother, this could be a coworker, this could be some male, right? Possibly a fire sign, because it's what wands, right? But it doesn't have to be a fire sign. And it could even be a female, an authoritative female in your life. But generally, kings represent as males. But I sort of feel like he's stepping back and he's looking at this Emperor. And he's kind of like, he's impressed, but he's sort of a little judgy. He's a little bit competitive about how good my Scorpios have got it this month. Okay? He's very impressed, though. The King of Wands is an impressive king. Right? He's of the Wands suit, okay? So he is the fastest energy, and he's also the energy of spirit. So to me, he's kind of like the most impressive king out of all of the court cards in my mind. But with this Nine of Wands that you have down here in your foundation, he sees that. He senses that from your past that's led you to this Emperor status, and he's kind of impressed by it. He's kind of a little bit like I'm just going to say this because this is what I'm hearing. He's like, how'd that bitch do that? Like, that's the feeling that I get from this card. He's like, how'd she pull that off? He's a little bit competitive, but he's also sort of respects it. Does that make sense? This could be a suitor for some of you. If some of you are single or you're not like necessarily sure, you know, you might have somebody that you're dating. This could be somebody stepping forward in the month of May that is impressed by you or attracted to you. But they are going to be a little bit, there is this slight sort of competition. I just feel this competition with him. Like, I feel like, and I don't mean that in a bad way per se, but I just feel like, how do I want to say this? Like, it's not that he wants what you have, but he wants to know how you got it, is the feeling that I'm getting. If that makes any sense at all. Now, your next outside influence, oh, that is so fucking weird. Did these all come out? How did that happen? I'm tripping. Alright, I have one card inverted again. I'm checking through the deck. This is bizarre. Alright, I have one card and it's in the same position as the other card. I'm going to read the inversion because all of the other cards are not inverted. And my Cancerians had this card in the same position but upright. This is the Death card. Death is not a bad thing, guys. Let me just double check this deck really quick. That's weird because the Magician was upside down in Cancers. All of these are fucking upright. How did that happen? Oh my god. Alright, we're gonna go with it. Okay, so, I want to say this. There could be a loss for my Scorpios in the month of May. I'm not saying a death loss, okay? I don't want you guys to freak out and think, oh my god, somebody's dying. I feel like this is like wonky behavior. I feel like this is an unexpected, unforeseen thing. Remember when I said, I don't know if you watched Cancers, but Cancers had the Death card going like this, in this same position, heading towards the center. He's sort of dancing towards their center. This Death card is upside down, and he's dancing away from my Scorpios, okay? Away from the Emperor. The Emperor is almost too strong to be affected by this loss. It's going to be a weird loss of some sort. It could be financial. I don't feel like it's a passing. Like I never predict actual death from the death card. I don't think that's what it represents. What I feel like is it's a shedding of something that needs to be let go of. And so for me, this shedding feels almost inconsequential. That's the inversion. Like it feels like it's a loss, but it's kind of like a goofy loss, or a loss that like it's like been long past due. You've known that it needed to go. You're like, oh Jesus, finally get out. Like whatever that is, that you've maybe been like letting it stay on the couch for too long. I'm using that as an example, but like, do you know what I mean? Like this to me doesn't feel as serious as a normal death upright card would be. This feels more like it's like it might be a loss of finances, but it's not a huge setback for the Emperor. The Emperor is stronger and more stable than what this inverted death card represents. So expect that there might be some weird unexpected loss in the month of May. It's not going to be tragic. It's not going to be like huge, but it is going to like maybe throw you for, like it's going to surprise you. Let's say that. Like to me, I feel like it's going like boom, like it's jumping out of nowhere, surprising you a little bit. It might set you back slightly, but it's no match. Like I'm totally hearing it's no match for these cards that are going on through here. We have this Queen of Pentacles, we have this Emperor, and we have this Nine of Wands. That's why this Death card is sort of inverted, because you're feeling so strong through the month of May and things are so good for you. You've been taking such good care of yourself that whatever this setback is, it's not the end of the world, and you know it. You fucking know it. That's this Emperor in the center, like he knows it. We almost know that this death is dancing away from the Emperor to me. He's facing away and he's upside down. Like it's almost like we kind of knew we needed to let go of that. So like if this is like a job that we had pre-pandemic that maybe we didn't love, but we were working there because we thought we needed to, and we lose that job, it's no big loss. We will find something else. It's like that kind of a thing, right? Where it's sort of like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming, but I'm gonna be okay. That's the feeling that I'm getting from this. It doesn't feel, I mean, the Death card is Major Arcana, so I will say it's not gonna be a loss that you're not gonna not notice. You will notice it, for sure. But it feels inconsequential in the grand scheme of things because there's a lot of other good things happening in these other cards for you guys in the month of May, okay? Please come back if you guys do experience some sort of weird loss. If my Scorpions would please come back and comment on this video and let me know what they were. I would love to know because that would be just wild. Something about this treasure chest, when I was seeing it in Cancer, I felt like the loss needed to happen so that Cancer could gain something. For me, this feels like this is a financial loss for Scorpios, but it's not that big of a setback. So it could be the loss of a part-time fucking job or something, or the loss of like, you know, some sort of, you know, maybe some stock in investments or something weird like that. But it's not the end of the world. It's almost like I can hear this Emperor being like, who cares about that? We knew that was coming. We needed to get rid of that anyways. It was dead weight. Like, that's what this feels like to me. It's like, oh, that was dead weight anyways. Like, let it go. Like, it's no skin off the Emperor's back kind of thing. Now, the next card is what I call the potential outcomes card. This card tells me a little bit about sort of where things are headed by the end of the month for the majority of my Scorpios. This card is not necessarily set in stone. It's just an indicator of what could potentially happen for most of you as the energy stands right now. So, if it is something negative, we can use this card as a warning to make choices and changes in our lives now, so to affect this outcome. But if it is a card that is positive, we can take heart in the fact that we're naturally heading towards it, okay? So let's see how my Scorpio's May is going to end out. Interesting. It's the Devil card. Now, the Devil card to me is never... Alright, there's three cards. I'm just going to explain this because I don't want anybody to freak out that's watching this that maybe doesn't understand Tarot, so I'm going to do a little explanation. Three cards that people freak out about all the time in Tarot are Death, which you have here inverted, which means it's not like that bad of a deal, in my opinion, and what I'm feeling from this card. It feels like a small setback. The Tower, which is always like something built on a shitty foundation that's going to fall apart, that we expected to stay there the entire time. And that usually is always an idea that something new and better is coming along, right? Similar to death. Death is like something has to die away or be shed or let go of so that something new can be reborn in its place, right? With the devil is always about, sort of in my mind, showing us where we need more work. Okay? And so when I see this devil card as your guys' outcome, I feel like, and the devil is also major arcana, so this is a big, I don't want to say lesson, but this is a big energy that's going to hit you at the end of the month. I don't think that it's negative, guys. I think what it is that we've got such strength running through here in these three cards. We have this Nine of Wands, we have this Emperor, and we have this Queen of Pentacles, right? That I think that this Devil card is like, more work is coming. The work that we've been doing that has led us through up until this Nine of Wands and gotten us to this Emperor, this Devil card is like about to show us any other vulnerabilities that we have in our lives that we need to work on going forward so that we can continue to stay strong like this Emperor, or get even stronger than this Emperor. Does that make sense? So we actually want to embrace this Devil card. We want to look for the faults or the insecurities or the fears or the annoyances that get under our skin, that throw us off our game, that right now I feel like the majority of May is going to be very balanced and steady for you guys, with the exception of this here, which this to me feels sort of nominal. But by the end of May, you might find yourself dealing with some new issues, or issues that you thought were gone but are resurfacing within you. This, for some of you, the devil can represent also, and I'm just going to be blunt and honest, the devil often represents addictions, alcoholism, sex addictions, overeating, things like that, where we try and utilize things outside of ourselves to make us feel better. But what I feel like, when I'm looking at these three cards in the center, I feel like my Scorpios are not doing that right now. So if May ends and you guys find yourself in a position where this card finds you wanting to do those things again, or slip into bad behaviors, maybe laziness, like maybe you guys have been going, well, I don't know that you've been going to the gym, but maybe you've been working out at home every day to keep your mind strong and fresh and you know, keep fit, right? Maybe by end of May, you slow down on doing that and you stop doing that. That would be like sort of a form of the devil card, right? You start to become lazy again, or you start to eat more than you should, or eat worse food than you know you should. You start to get maybe depressed, or feeling like, I don't know if I can do this, or you know what I'm saying? That's what this card is. Now, what I feel like this card is bringing to you, though, is a gift. The devil is always a gift, because the devil is always going to show us exactly where we need to do the work that we either avoided or we didn't see. And so to me, you guys have been doing the work with this Nine of Wands. You've settled into the work with this Emperor, and you're about to start building some really beautiful, nurturing things from your spirit through this Queen of Pentacles. So we want this devil card to show us where our Achilles heel is, where we might need to shift the last minute, you know, choices or behaviors or thoughts or whatever that are no longer serving us, okay? So to me, this is a blessing, actually. It might be a little bit annoying, don't get me wrong. I mean, he is dancing around on a black cat, and he is the devil. But he's always there to show us. He's kind of like, how do I want to describe this? Like, he's there to give us a choice. We get to choose whether or not we want to do the right thing or the easy thing, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, or, you know, take the right path or the wrong path. And generally, the wrong path is usually the one that we're familiar with, and we've already known that we've been doing it for far too long anyways. That's maybe this death card too, inverted. Like, we know we need to let go of it. So he might be showing it for those of you that don't let go of it, or maybe have a hard time of letting it go. He might be bringing it up by the end of the month and showing it to you again so that you do let go of it. But ultimately, I think that this is for your best interest. And what I mean is by letting go of things that aren't serving you, and whatever that may be in your life. This is a broad spectrum reading, so I can't get very specific because I'm trying to, get this to as many people as watching this video, right? If you are interested in a much more detailed personal reading, I'm always available. You can message my business page. I can do a Scorpio reading for you, or I can do a personal reading on any subject with different cards and all of that over Facebook Messenger and via the phone. That's always bookable. If you have questions, you can feel free to contact me at the Facebook business page. You can utilize this link to like all of my social medias. Follow me, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified when I go live. And that is your May Scorpio predictive. So I'd love to hear how your guys' May turns out, and I will see you guys again in June. I am now going to go on to Pisces and make sure that every one of these cards is upright, damn it. This is cray-cray. Because it seems like every so often one card wants to like jump the deck and do weird shit. And leave it to Pisces to have some weird shit going on in their cards in the end. I'm a Pisces myself, so I'm allowed to talk bad about us. I love me some Pisces. So, I'm always happy to do the Pisces readings. So I'm just going through these cards really quick, kind of refreshing the energy on them, making sure they're all upright before I start to shuffle them. I also want to change this rainstorm music because it's just straight up white noise. It's kind of driving me a little nuts. How about Distant Light Rain? That sounds good. Distant Light Rain. That's my Indian name. Is Distant Light Rain. I'm just kidding. Hey, Lisa Vanderhelm, how are you? Hey, Amanda, you're an Aries and Pisces cusp, so I would watch both Aries and Pisces if I was on the cusp. It also depends on how many degrees you're into which one and all that, but I would watch both of them and like blend the two readings together, and that would give you an idea of what your month might be like. So we're going to start Pisces in just one moment once I fully verify that each and every card in this deck is upright. So because I've had one card, each card was major arcana, slip out of the deck upside down, and it's weird because all of the rest are right side up. So I'm just making sure, and this also resets the energy of the deck when I go through each and every card. It just helps. Wow, that's some really light distant rain. You can't even hear a damn thing. Alright. Okay. Casey raised a Sag with a Scorpio? Okay, cool. Sag will be tomorrow, Casey. That's a lot of, like, fiery, horny energy there, girl. Alright, here we go. Brittany, you're a Pisces, right? Brittany Cardinale? You're a Pisces. Alright, let's see what's going on with Pisces. Please share out the feed, guys, if you feel so inclined. Oh, Nancy, you're a Sag too? I'm learning about Sages. I've met a Sag recently that I'm, chit-chatting with quite a bit, and he's pretty awesome. I dated a Sag a long time ago, like early on, but it was very casual. We dated for, I don't know, like 6 months, 8 months, and then it was just like, we weren't like anything steady, but he was a really sweet guy, and I'm talking to a Sag now, but we're just more friends than anything, so. Well, to me, it's funny you say that, Casey Ray, because I think that Scorpios, to me, I've always had this personal impression of Scorpios as being the one water sign that wants to work really hard at convincing you they're a fire sign. So they're the one, even though they are super emotional and stuff, and psychic and all that, they come off like fire all the time. They feel like their energy to me feels fiery in nature, even though they're a water sign. Let's see what's going on with my Pisces for May of 2020. Sun, Moon, Rising, and heavily placed planets in Pisces. Venus in Pisces. I'm a Pisces with a Pisces Mercury and a Pisces Venus. So I am a Pisces. I love like a Pisces. I communicate like a Pisces. I'm a deep, deep dreamer, imaginative lover, hopeless romantic. I believe in divine destiny, all that shit. I love it about me. It's just, it's hard. I think people don't relate to it. But it's definitely who I am. And I think that's a part of my reason why I'm reluctant to trust people. Because my heart is so sensitive, because it is a Pisces Venus and stuff, that people misinterpret me a lot of times. And it makes me, I don't know, just fearful that they're going to stomp all over me. Even though Pisces can be very, very strong, though we cry a lot, that doesn't mean that we're weak by any means. But a Pisces Venus, to me, is just, it's just a gentle heart kind of thing. That's why my heart's always on my sleeve. All right, let's see what's going on for Pisces. I want to shuffle that one more time. That didn't feel good. That cut didn't feel good. Hey Kate, it's the Triple Taurus. How are you? Alright, so that's a better cut. Alright, so this is now my center for my Pisces for the month of May. This is where you're going to be most of the time during the month of May, and this is a broad spectrum reading. Keep that in mind, guys, so it may not relate to you, or it may, but it just gives you a little idea of where you might be during the month of May, how you'll be feeling in and out throughout the month, and it gives you an idea of what you could be experiencing, you know, like, or creating for the future. So this is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is always fast-moving energy. Oh shit, guys. Wands is spirit and the element of fire, and that is one of the fastest-moving energies. Eight of Wands always indicates like shit moving out of control. Not out of control, I shouldn't say that, but it is like fast-moving spiritual energy. To me, hold on, just give me 1 minute. Eights are about balance, also, in my book. Where's my ear scratcher? I need to scratch my ear. My ear's itching. Here we go. Sorry, something's in my ear, and I mean something by somebody. Not somebody, but like, something's tickling my ear right now. Okay. Oh god, now that's hail? What? This is big raindrops. Okay. So, Eight of Wands traditionally means fast-moving energy, like the speed of the wands moving very quickly. When I look at this, though, I don't know why, but I'm getting this feeling of love. Eights are always about balance, so this might be balance in the area of love for my Pisces. I don't know how many of you guys are either searching for love or already in love, but I feel like May might be the month where some stuff begins to sort of move forward or deepen for those of you that are already in a relationship. If it's not, then it's going to be an opportunity where you guys are going to be able to move forward towards that idea of a relationship. And the reason why is I feel like this is Cupid. He feels very like much in love. He's got this little heart on his chest, and he feels like he's pursuing this woman who would be like the Pisces to me. That's why I'm getting this love vibe. But Eight of Wands isn't necessarily always associated with love, but the vibe that I'm getting, and it is springtime, and maybe it's just because I'm horny, but I feel like this is about us moving quickly towards this sort of idea of love. And if it's not love for some of you, maybe some of you aren't interested in love, okay? You can attribute this to something that you do love, like maybe a career choice, or this could be, this is going to sound a little silly, but this could be even like the deepening of your love with your pets or your family. But for whatever it's worth, to me, this feels like Cupid working overtime on making Pisces feel that deep, balanced, spiritual sort of love, optimism, whatever it is that is within us, bringing that out in a very kind of big way throughout the month of May. Like, I feel like this is a very much like a appreciative card, right? Like, we as Pisces are going to be looking at the world through our, you know how Pisces are known for having rose-colored glasses? We're going to be looking at the world through our rose-colored glasses, in love with just about everybody and everything, and Cupid's going to be making sure of that. if that makes sense. That's kind of the feeling that I get. And I feel like also this being the Eight of Wands, may go by for us rather quickly. That we might be able to get a lot accomplished, a lot done, a lot sort of where we're going to be like, shit, where did May go? Is sort of the feeling that I get from this card. I'm interested to see what the rest of the cards are, because then it might also help me to understand why this is our center for this month. The next card is the Foundation. This tells me a little bit about what sort of was going on in the months previous leading up to this. That is why everything is the way that it is. Oh, hello. We have the card that represents Pisces. From the major arcana, this is the moon. The moon is our shadow side. The moon is our intuition. This is our foundation. This is what is driving. Oh my God! This is what is driving us for the month of May. This is why I get all these love vibes from this Eight of Wands. I feel like the moon is our deeper, more internal self. I think that, I don't know about you guys, and I'm not trying to put myself too much into this reading, but what I am going to say about my experience is that I have been spending a lot of time in meditation and in reflection. I've been taking 45-minute walks every day with my music on. And I'll before I press the music, I'll hold my phone and I'll go, before I hit shuffle, I go, okay, angels, tell me what I need to know, and then I hit shuffle and I start walking. And I watch the birds and the trees, and so I think that that's some of what this moon card is like the meditation, the reflection, the time alone, the time where we learn to appreciate ourselves, where we start to realize how strong we actually are internally, emotionally, exploring our darker sides, and I don't mean dark in a bad way, I mean like the sides of ourselves that we don't necessarily always show everyone. I think that my Pisceans have been able to take this time maybe in self-isolation to explore that and see that and appreciate that, grow that and nurture that. This is also really strong intuition, guys, right? So the moon is always about like sort of strong intuition, and this card is associated with the sign of Pisces. So this is the Foundation says to me that we have been in our own little like sort of intuitive little worlds. We've been understanding them, exploring them, growing them, strengthening them, and they are what are propelling us forward. And as they propel us forward into May, we're being propelled in this way with this Eight of Wands, which is this balance of spirit, this understanding of spirit, and this appreciation of ourselves. And maybe that appreciation of ourselves that we have in this moon card is allowing others outside of us to appreciate us too, and hopefully bring that appreciation towards us, or allow us to deepen that appreciation with others, okay? That could be in a job. I don't want this to all be about love, because I don't necessarily know that all of you are exploring love, but to me this is feeling like a little bit of a... Well, let's get into the other cards and see. But to me, this is about us really exploring ourselves over the last few months, appreciating who we are at a very deep, profound level, really relying on our intuition, really connecting with ourselves and understanding the strength of that and allowing that to become our foundation. And as we allow that to become our foundation, we're preparing ourselves for the fast-moving spiritual energy that is going to push us forward through the month of May and quite possibly bring us better self-appreciation and love for those around us. Let's just say that. How's that for dumping those two cards on you? Now, the next card is your Spirit or Soul card. This is what the Spirit or Soul wants us to work on during the month of May, or what it wants. Oh shit, really, bitch? We have the World. So our Spirit or Soul has the World card in store for us. And to me, the World is kind of about like the end of the journey, right? The World is about arriving where we've kind of been trying to get to. And I have a feeling that this Eight of Wands, this speedy Eight of Wands energy that's like kind of moving us through the month of May might be leading us directly to the doorway of the World that our Spirit has for us. Now, I don't know that that means that at the end of May, we hit the World. What I'm saying is that our Spirit has something very big planned for us. There's some sort of big fulfillment. The World to me is about feeling fulfilled at all levels. I mean, when you look at this woman is like sort of like basking in her glory. She has all of the different sort of elements, the strength of the lion, the strength of the bull, the hawk, all of the different, I believe these are the different elements, right? Earth, air, fire, and I'm not sure who that is. That might be Cupid. I don't know. I'd have to read again on this. But um, she is like ready for it all and wants it all and deserves it all and gets it all. Now, this is our spirit, what it wants for us, right? What it wants us to concentrate on is having the world, having it all be brought to us in a way that we deserve, and that in a way that like it almost feels to me like the world is finally acknowledging us. We've acknowledged ourselves here through the moon, and now the world comes to meet us at some point. It may not be in May, but it's coming. It's like, it feels like our spirit is working on this for us. To me, it's a really beautiful card to have. It's actually, as a Pisces myself, it's a little intimidating, to be honest. But let's look at the outside influences and see what's going on. The outside influences are things like events, people, sometimes belief systems or energies that are having an effect on us during this month. They could be either positive or negative, but let's see what they are. So we have the Emperor on one side. I love this. Now, the Emperor would represent a very stable, old, like authoritative or older male. We just see this Emperor in the Scorpio reading as the center of Scorpio's reading. So I don't necessarily associate the Emperor with Scorpio, but this could be a Scorpio because we just did Scorpio's readings and they are represented as the Emperor. I know that Pisces and Scorpios do get along very, very well. Some of my best friends are Scorpio females, but I don't necessarily know that this card dictates that it will be a Scorpio. I do feel like this is a male energy. It feels like an authoritative male. It feels like a very balanced, fair, kind male. He has expectations, guys. We can live up to them, I believe, but I feel like we can't cut corners with this one. Like, that's the thing about the Emperor. You can't sort of take shortcuts, if that makes any sense. Like, the Emperor has sort of high expectations, but what the Emperor, like, what I want to say is like, what the Emperor doesn't realize is that we have this down here as our foundation, which is beautiful, right? The moon card. But we also have the world being prepared for us, which is beyond even what the Emperor can provide for himself. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like that Pisces ability to believe, that Pisces ability to sort of see through the veil, that Pisces sort of ability to kind of dream really allows us to go so much further and beyond what other people can create, even though we've been told our whole lives it's all just a dream. And to me, when I'm looking at these three cards, the intuition and the card for Pisces, the Eight of Wands, which is swift spiritual movement towards a goal and the balance of that, and then the world as our sort of highest and greatest outcome, it says to me that our dreams are able to come to fruition. Our dreams are able to be created. And that even if other people, like this could be somebody that's a little bit practical, that's saying, nah, that's not possible. But I have to say that I do feel like this person appreciates us. I don't feel like this is a harmful person in any way, shape, or form. I feel like this is a beneficial energy. I feel like he's a grounding force. I feel like he is maybe a bit of a stick in the mud at times. Because he's the fourth card, I get that force stability, but that stability is not a bad thing, especially with this Eight of Wands and this fast-moving energy. We might need his stabilizing sort of presence to help us to move forward to create this world, if that makes sense. Let's look at the other outside influence. Oh, fuck me. We have the High Priestess, guys. Alright, so we are surrounded in the month of May by major arcana cards. I don't know how many Pisces are watching this right now, but this is like May should be a bang up month for us. I don't know why, but we've got the High Priestess is about sort of secrets. She's the other pillar card to the Emperor, right? There's 4 pillar cards. And the High Priestess and the Emperor each are one, right? She has the like darkness and light. She has the pillar, she has the strength, she has the secret, she has all of the spirituality, she has all of those things, and she's around us. Now, this could be a woman, right? Or this could be just sort of that energy that's out there supplying us with the stability and the sort of like spirituality, the masculine and the feminine, all of that like sort of outside of am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. To me, it feels like this could be actual people, or this could be just sort of like the vibrations of these two cards. The strength, benevolence, and love and authority of the Emperor and stability, and the secrets, the magic, the unknown of the High Priestess coming together in this Eight of Wands and being sort of bolstered by our own intuition in the moon, helping us to get to this higher aspiration of having the world. Whatever we dream, however we see it, like the way that we see it, we can use the practicality and the energy and the grounding of the Emperor, and we can use the magic and the secrets and the spirituality of the other pillar of this of the High Priestess, coupled with the foundation of our own internal dreamy intuition to create exactly what we want, guys. It's not like what I'm hearing right now is it's not a dream. Like we've been told our whole life that, oh no, that's not how the world works. But see, what's happening right now with this pandemic is the world is changing. And we don't know what it's changing to. And I think that Pisces are the dreamers, the true dreamers. The phrase for Pisces is I believe. And when we believe, when you have strong belief, you can create from that belief. And because we're emotional beings, when we believe and we imbue that with our emotions and the beauty of our emotions and our intuitions, we can sort of lead ourselves down paths that create the world. I know that sounds crazy, but to me this looks like a really beautiful month of May for my Pisceans. Now, this next card is the final outcome card. This card tells me a little bit about sort of where things may go for most of the Pisceans if you don't make any major changes. It's not set in stone though. If this card is negative, you can use this card as a warning to make choices and changes to sort of affect the outcome of this card. But if this card is something good that we want to have happen, we can take heart in the fact that this is naturally where we're heading, and that this card will just, very easily take place. Shit, bitch. This is the Ace of Wands. Wands is the element of fire and the element of spirit. And the aces are always like sort of new thought, new inspiration, new ways of being, new ways of seeing the world, new ways of just they're powerful cards, guys. And if this is the outcome for us for the month of May, it's about us having a new sense and understanding of who we are spiritually, what we can create from our spirit, what we can create, the power that we can harness from not only like sort of the outside energies that are around us, which are the stability of this Emperor and the magic of this High Priestess, but our own intuition, our own sort of deep spiritual nature and knowledge, our own sort of connection to our own spirit. We end up in this place of feeling like renewed spiritually, whole, complete, inspired, seeing seeing the world maybe in a new way, or maybe envisioning like having, this might sound a little bit crazy, but having like new sort of ways of like communicating into the world, or whatever sort of creative energies you guys have going, any of my Pisces viewers, think about it during the month of May. Flesh it out. Trust your intuition on it. Channel it. Share it. Get it out there. Stabilize it. Balance it with this Eight of Wands and let it move forward quickly through the month of May. Let it be imbued by the power of whatever it is that your spirit tells you, because by the end of the month of May, I feel like there's going to be a whole new perspective of who you are spiritually, what you can do spiritually, and how you can channel that message information, art, music, whatever that creation is for you. If it's tarot readings, if it's dance, if it's, you know, cooking, I don't know, whatever it is, I just feel like this is you guys bringing that gift of your spirit out into the forefront in a new, profound, inspired way and sharing it with the world from a place that's so empowered and so beautiful by the end of May. I cannot wait to see what June has to bring. Hopefully the world doesn't end by June because it looks like it's just getting kicked off for my Pisces. This so far, I've done Earth, Air, and now all of the waters. This is the strongest reading that I've gotten yet with the most major arcana. You guys have all major arcana plus an ace. So this is the most like sort of energetically powerful reading that I've seen for the month of May. The fact that you have the equality of the masculine and feminine balanced energies on outside influences, both being pillar cards from the major arcana, speak volumes. And this outcome of the world, like this higher spiritual goal of attaining the world card, I feel like my Pisces are up to some fucking serious magic. Please check back with me at the end of May and let me know what's going on with you guys. I'm dying to know. I am dying to know. I get a feeling too, I have to say this, I feel like this High Priestess and this Emperor could be a couple of different things. I feel like these are more energies or anything, you know, like these are going to be like sort of the universe coming at you and giving you inspiration, giving you support, keeping you bolstered, keeping you inspired. This Emperor might be somebody that is very much a balancing. I think that might be more for me than anybody else. I think I know who this Emperor is, but I'm not going to say. But I think this Emperor is a specific person in my life, but I sometimes think he's a dick, so I'm not sure. But I think this Emperor could be a balancing energy if it's not an actual person that comes into your life. I don't mean to say that I think he's a dick, but just sometimes I think that I dream a little too big for him. But this says to me that the dream is bigger than even I can dream. And on that, the rain just starts pouring in. All right, you guys. That is your Pisces reading for May. Please come back. Hold on, I'm going to switch cameras. I probably look a hot mess right now. Let me see. Please come back and tell me if that makes sense to you guys. If whatever you guys are going through in May, please message me at the Facebook business page and tell me, because I would be dying to know for all of the signs, any of the signs that I've done thus far. If there's anything where you say like, oh, you said this in Scorpio and this is what happened, I would love to hear that, because I do these and I do them for such a broad spectrum of people, right? Like for people that have, you know, Pisces in their sun, moon, rising, whatever. So it's like a multitude of people that could potentially watch, right? And so because there's so many people that it could affect, I feel like I'm drawing out, like Helen Keller, like reaching out into the dark, just like sort of, am I actually connecting with people? And I love seeing this guy. Spring is a new beginning, TC38 Cole. And I think that might have some of it to do with it too, because when I'm looking at these cards, like let me just go back to this camera. I just went a little closer to the cards. But if you look at, there's all of these spring flowers here, there's a spring flower here, there's spring flowers here. There's a lot of flowers around here in the world card. So this spring energy is definitely having its, Pisces is definitely tapping into that. And it's affecting Pisces in a very, very positive way. And that just excites me because I am a Pisces and I'm a triple Pisces. Like I have Pisces Mercury and Pisces Venus. So this could be just really good for my heart and for my communication. I'm excited. I needed to see this. I mean, even if I only, like here's the deal. Even if I only get a sliver of this reading in the month of May, I'm good. I'll be happy. Because this is a beautiful, beautiful reading with all of those major arcana surrounding that Eight of Wands. And then that Ace of Wands as the outcome. Like, oh bitch. It's like spiritual growth and shit. So, All right, you guys, I'm going to tune out for tonight. I'm going to do the fire signs tomorrow. Thank you, fire signs, for waiting so patiently. But I do them since we're in Taurus season, we started with Earth, then we went to air because Gemini's after Taurus, and then Cancer's after Gemini, so that's why we're in water now. Tomorrow will be the fire signs, and then I'll be doing the Patreon Archangel readings and the Cupid Love readings over on Patreon. And also, anybody, if you have any suggestions for any other types of readings that you would like to see on my channel, let me know. Like, comment. Like, if there's like something specific you want. I did do like a pick a card for twin flames and stuff, but not it. I mean, it got views, but nobody really commented on whether or not they liked it or not. So I just didn't continue doing them. So I want to be creating content that you guys enjoy. So I like doing these monthly Tarotscopes. There's just so many of them. So it's just like I have to chunk them out in groups of 3s. But you can always book me for a private reading too if you feel so inclined. I can give you more specific information with different decks to a specific situation, or to just your own personal Tarotscope of what I see is going on for you particularly. I do chakra clearing things. I do charm divinations. There's all sorts of stuff. So hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. Tuesday nights I usually do Triple H Hour, which is when I do card pulls for people for free. And any questions you can refer to the business page on Facebook. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful May. And I'm going to go pee. I've been listening to this rain song because I thought it'd be fitting for my water signs to hear the rain in the background. I mean, literally, I have rain sounds on my, I listen to it sometimes to relax. Such a weirdo. Alright, and then that way I save money on water because I don't have to bathe. Alright, you guys, have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please go over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in there one more time. Subscribe to the business page, follow the business page, because I go live from both places when I do these live events. Alright, you guys, have you a very wonderful May, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the fire signs. Bye, Brittany. Bye, Casey. Bye, Nancy. Bye, Tina Charlie. Bye, Amy Jo and Melissa. Phil Pot. Sorry, I can't see. I don't have my glasses on. I started this without my glasses. Never a good idea. I was trying to read these tiny cards. I'm like, we have the... Alright, you guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye.